One constituency, two frontrunners.
Caledenia in Bristol Central.
It's going to be a Labour government. It's going to be to re-elect me as their MP.
Two key issues shaping this race.
Is the environment.
Palestine and Rafah.
Welcome to Bristol Central. For 14 years, Caroline Lucas has been the Green Party's only MP. The trailblazer is now standing down. The party launching their campaign, though, doesn't just want to move on, but multiply.
We are looking to win at least 4 Green MPs in 5 weeks' time.
By having more Greens in the House of Commons, we can push whoever forms the next government. It's looking pretty certain to be Labour. We can push them to be a little bit braver on the areas that they've been backsliding, especially on the climate, on the housing crisis, on renters' rights and on workers' rights.
So it's really about just shaping whoever's in power.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Greens in government eventually, but realistically, I'm not going to get the keys to number 10 this time, I know that. But that's okay, because our theory of change, it works by getting a handful of Green MPs elected.
Going into this election, the Green Party has a renewed vigour. Less than a month ago at the local elections, the Greens increased the number of councillors by 70%. Here in Bristol, they became the largest party, although not quite getting a majority. This is a key battleground because of geography and demography. At a time when environmental issues are regularly on the front page of newspapers, running through this city is a stark reminder why. Last year, there were 6,500 sewage spills into the Avon, making it the third most polluted river in England. And a stone's throw from its banks, a young population for whom the environment is much more of an election issue.
Among the student population here, the Greens are very popular. But a summer election isn't all that helpful. There was one phrase we heard time and time again.
It depends where I vote, whether I vote where I live at uni or at home.
I'm going to go tactical.
I will be voting for the Green Party in Bristol.
But if I'm back home, Labour.
We were speaking to a lot of students today, and the thing that we heard from quite a few of them was, if I stay here, I'm going to vote Green. Are you hoping they all bigger off home?
Well, what I'm hoping is that people make their decision based on what they want to see.
Thangam Debonair had a majority of just over 28,000, but there has been change. The boundary lines of her constituency have now moved. So too has her party's green plans.
Renewable energy that's going to bring down their bills and save the planet.
Renewable energy, which you previously were going to invest 28 billion quid a year in, and now the Labour Party have U-turned on that. Is that U-turn going to cost you votes?
It's not a U-turn, because what we've done is
it's less than 5 billion that you'll be spending. That is 23 billion pound and less. That is significant.
Do you know why? Because what the renewable energy companies are telling us is that it's not our capital, it's not the money that they're after. They need us to change planning law.
Will that 23 billion quid difference cost you votes? Around here, with the Green Party,
people know that it's their money that we're spending, and they know that if we were to use money we don't need, that would be a waste of their money, and they haven't got a lot of it right now. What renewable energy companies are telling me, round here we've got a lot of them, is that they know that they can get that renewable energy if we could just sort out planning.
So we're going to the last round. This week I do something a little bit different. I thought I'd give you all a politics round. Anyone up for a politics round? No? Do you want a saxophone?
The weary and not so weary voters here are split.
Do I vote strategically, Labour, or do I vote with my heart, which would be the Green?
You're wrestling with your heart and your head at the moment.
Yeah.
Which one do you think will win?
I have a horrible feeling my head will win.
Labour probably. It will probably be Green.
Okay, why?
Because I've been a Labour voter all my life, as long as I could vote. Yeah, U-turned so much already that I no longer think that they will deliver.
There is one other issue that is quite literally coming up on the doorstep.
So I've emailed you recently about the situation happening in Rafah with Palestine, and I know that's probably going to be on a lot of the people's voters' minds.
Yeah, of course.
As a constituent, it's a big worry.
Of course.
I think some of the big things we want to happen is an immediate ceasefire, which you agreed that you are also hoping to happen.
Well, we put our motion forward, which passed.
Yeah.
And that's obviously what I want.
But she convinced you?
Well, I'm split. It's between Labour and Green.
Excuse me? May I have one of those leaflets?
And Gaza is an issue the Greens are proactively campaigning on
What's
here.
on this one? So it's a green leaflet.
This is about, so this leaflet's about Gaza.
Is Gaza, rather than the environment, your wedge issue you're hoping will put you ahead of Labour here?
I don't really think in terms of wedge issues. I am standing on a platform for what I think is right and what voters want. And they want a party with principles.
The Reform Party candidate here is Robert Clark, who ran for Bristol Mayor in 2021. The Conservatives won less than 12% of the vote in 2019, have yet to name a candidate, and failed to get back to us with their plan for Bristol Central. As for the Lib Dems,
the Liberal Democrats, as you know, are taking the fight to the Conservatives across the blue wall, and so our real focus is knocking out the Conservative government in all of the Lib Dem Conservative marginal seats around the city.
the race for Bristol Central is unique, perhaps best summed up by this.
Are you more tempted to vote for the Greens because you're in Bristol and there's a possibility of them getting an MP here?
Absolutely.
If you were somewhere else in the country, would you still be voting Green?
I'm probably not, no.
But he is here. His vote may be a statement, and it's a statement the Greens want to make.